Yo, what's going on, guys? And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the return of NCAA, like the series, the video game series. Um, as of news, like on Twitter and Instagram, EA stated that they're bringing it back. You know, they did a little teaser, said like for those who stopped believe or those who kept on believing, which I'm one of those believers. They said they're bringing back the NCAA franchise. As we all know, the last NCAA game was NCAA 14 with the Michigan quarterback on the cover, and that game came out in 2013. And the reason why I went out of that is because it wasn't even to do with the NCAA football. It was actually NCAA basketball. They also made a basketball game, and I forget who did it, but they were on the I think they were on the cover of the game, or I don't know if they were on the cover of the game, but I know they were in the game. And then later, and like a couple years, like years later, he wasn't getting paid for his likeness, and he didn't like that. So he decided to sue EA Sports, the company that made NCAA 14 and all NCAA games of that matter. So he decided to sue them. And what the NCAA did is they took that, so like they closed off all getting paid for players' likenesses. Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously you can still do like commercials and stuff, but not any like big things that, like, I don't know. It's kind of confusing. You guys should like look it up. I don't know all the details of what actually happened, but all I know is that it's back. I already know what happened. Um, myself, I bought NCAA 12 when it came out, which came out in 2011. So about this year, it's been 11. No, it's been 10 years. So on the 10th anniversary of me owning an NCAA game, this is a good treat for my 10th anniversary of owning the game. Obviously, I own it on my Xbox 360. And about consoles, this new NCAA game, it already stated that it's going to be on the next gen consoles. We have no further news that it will be on current gen. I mean, obviously PC. So far, it's like PC, probably next gen consoles. Um, but we have no news if it's on, the current gen, like that being PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So yeah, that's really all the news we have on that matter, where it'll be available. And exactly when it'll be available, we also do not know that, because, I mean, players don't have they aren't getting paid for their likenesses in full. Honestly, it'll probably take a really long time for that to happen, because actually it was beginning of 2020 where they said that they were gonna start making plans for that. That's where the teaser started coming out. What are the NCAA? Can we bring back the NCAA franchise? That's where that started coming out. Um. So, I mean, there obviously there's not gonna be NCAA 20. They're not gonna come out with it straight away. It's gonna be like a really really long time. I don't see them coming up with the NCAA 21. That's just not realistic. And it's gonna take a while. I don't know what the process is behind it, but it's like they started the process of like the beginning of last year, and they said it was gonna take a while. I forget. I think it was like 3 or 2 years. So the earliest game that I could see, and that's if like everything like a miracle happens and like the process goes by really really fast. I can see maybe an NCAA 22 or an NCAA probably a more realistic one that we'll see is probably NCAA 23. Obviously that game will come out in 2020. No, wait. I guess yeah, the earliest one that we could see since 2022 or since NCAA 2022 would come out this year. I guess the earliest that we could probably see is either NCAA 23, which will come out like around 2022, around fall season then, nearing the end of 2022, or nearing the end of 2023, and that being NCAA 24. So I think we probably have a while to wait. Um, I think it'll be worth it though. We're finally getting that back. Fans have been, talking about it for years, ever since they stopped producing them, and NCAA 14 was the last one. And there was a lot of hype around that game because like the cheapest. I tried to get it, like later, because all I had was NCAA 12. That's all I really needed. I mean, I could just update, the rosters. It was fine. for me. I do regret not buying NCAA 14 when it came out, because I thought there would be way more, you know. But it turned to, like, if you go on today, the cheapest way to get them is on eBay, and even that's, like, the cheapest one is, like, $100. Unless you find, like, a steal somewhere on the internet for, like, $50 maybe, 70, probably, no, yeah, at least it'd probably be, like, 70 or 80. That's what people are asking for. It's a really good game. Now, I'm going to go into my expectations for the game. Exactly what I want to see in the game. And these are going to be like long shot ones, but we did see them in past NCAA, things, but I do keep in mind most of this stuff won't happen because we used to see crazy stuff in Madden and stuff, and EA, I mean, they've changed, but they're still the same company that made NCAA, NCAA and earlier like good Maddens, and obviously Madden changed. Nobody likes it anymore. EA is bad. So, the question has to be asked, will they ruin NCAA or the NCAA series? What I would do to not, make that same mistake is get a different developing team developing that game. Also would help you out with creating future Maddens and NCAAs and getting them out on time, because we have seen in the past with some video game, developers, they're using the same developing team on multiple, game titles from the actual, thing. So they couldn't get it out on time. There's been multiple things. We were supposed to get another college football game. It was supposed to be kind of like a knockoff. It was supposed to be like insane graphics, like Madden. You could have total customization, and that was announced like 27. No, that was announced like 2016. It was supposed to come out in 2017, but they got stuff happened. I don't know exactly what went down, but they just canceled it, and it had nothing to do with copyright or like the players' likenesses, because it was gonna be generic, like default, like teams, like no like actual real players, but you could customize it, kind of like 2K. You could create all your different colleges. But now that I said that, let's go into what I expect from, not what I expect, but what we as a community of NCAA fans, what we want. And speaking from someone who actually played NCAA, I think I know a thing or two about what we want to see, what we did see, and how good that would be for the franchise moving forward. So the number one thing, obviously, updated rosters. I mean, there's going to be some changes. Could we see, how you can download draft classes? I'm obviously going to see, like, the community's going to do, put in high school prospects. That would be really cool to see from our community. Obviously, we do that in Madden all the time with, the drafts and the draft classes. We see that in all types of different sports games, like 2K, all the different game titles. Heisman Award races. I mean, like college football awards are in my opinion, way more important than, this is my opinion. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion, but they're way more important. Um, you know, like I 100%. I think if you don't watch college football, then you probably disagree with this. But if you watch college football, you know that the MVP in the NFL is like, it's not even close to measuring up to what the Heisman is. Like, I can't remember who like won it other than Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, and I seriously don't even know who won it before. I think it was like, what, it was Matt Ryan, I think. I don't know. But the Heisman you're competing is all different, like colleges and across America. It's a really prestigious award. Obviously, in Madden and franchise, you can't track who's gonna win it. That's, dude. So yeah, that kind of, like, you can track whoever's gonna, like, who's projected to win it. So stuff like that, like the awards. Like there's a bunch of different awards you can win in NCAA. Obviously, you can win a bunch of different ones in the actual NFL, but Madden only puts in the MVP. There's no award little thing for winning Super Bowl MVP, or there's just Coach of the Year and really MVP. And maybe if you really want to count it, it doesn't even say at the end, but Super Bowl MVP. And this is gonna be really tough for the game. Madden needs to fix franchise. They really need to fix that, because NCAA is literally franchised. You can't do like a really ultimate team, I would say. Actually, no, maybe you could. I don't know. It didn't work in the past, even, it didn't really work in the past. with different, and there's, I just don't see that working that much, how to get, players overalls and stuff, and I don't think it would work, I don't really have much to say about Madden Ultimate Team or whatever for NCAA. All I have to say is I don't think it would work. But the NCAA has and probably will run on franchise. If they mess up this franchise mode, which back then in the day it was called Dynasty, and then if you want to create your own player, it was Road to Glory. And I'm gonna get into Road to Glory first. Road to Glory, you better be able to start out from high school. I would imagine. I 100% think that they will make us start from high school. If they don't make us start from high school, then don't buy the game. Like, how are you gonna become the #1 prospect? How are you gonna get recruits? Because you have to play a full season, not just a couple games in high school. You have to play a whole season, which I guess the whole season was 7 games, I think, somewhere around there. But you could design your own high school uniforms. I mean, it was generic. You couldn't design your own logos unless you did mods and stuff. All that sort of stuff. And then Dynasty, this is the most important one. Dynasty is kind of like franchise where you own your own team. Recruiting was a big thing. It's kind of like, draft, recruiting was a big thing. It's kind of like, draft, what is it, scouting. You could call them, you could make promises to them, upgrade their interest in you. You could offer them scholarships. You could make them you could offer them a trip out, to tour the campus. You could choose what they do. There was so much customization in Dynasty, and if they ruin that, like they ruined Madden franchise, and this NCAA series won't last too long. The only reason it would ever last is all the hype. Once the hype, if they ruin franchise, or should I say Dynasty, if they ruin that, then the hype is over, because there's literally no point. And now I'm going to get into what I really, really, really want to see. Now, I'm going to go into why Madden doesn't do it in regular Madden. So, if you play 2K, you can create your own team from scratch. And you know where I'm going with this team builder in NCAA. Alright, but, you can create your own team. You can design the uniforms, you can design where the cities are. The only reason why Madden doesn't do this, and don't blame Madden for this, I watched a video on it. I don't know if it's credible. I mean, I read a few articles on it. I think it's credible, so I think it's a 99% credible. Honestly, I think it's guaranteed credible. I think ESPN came out with an article about it a while back. Roger Goodell, and the CEO of the NFL, I shouldn't just say him, the NFL doesn't want that. I don't know why they don't want it, why you can't create your own team, and why you can just choose already, given ones, but I don't know, it's really weird. So, one of the biggest things in NCAA is team builder. And team builder, it's basically you create your own players, prospects. You can go to it's not even some you can do everything, because you can't create it on the game. You have to go go on a website on your computer. It's that really designy, You have to go on your computer, design it. You can design the logo, the field. You can literally design the field. You can design the logo, the field, the stadium. It'd probably be generic, but, you can design the stadium, you can design the logos, you can place the logos, you can do any image that you can, or want. You can do anything and anything and everything. You can place them in what division you want, and even you can move divisions in games. I remember, in NCAA 12, I redid it to make I moved Texas A&M from the Big 12, the SEC. I moved you can move in different divisions. So the biggest thing that I'm concerned with is the amount of customization that you can do in this game. If you get customization and franchise is the biggest thing that you can do with this game, and that's what NCAA ran on. That's what it ran on its heyday. So that's my expectations and what's going down. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below what you think will happen. Let me know. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to get all the news on this NCAA game, gameplay of other games, anything that you guys want, I'll do. Well, make sure to like the video. Leave a comment down again. What were your thoughts on this?